Guys, what's up? This is Ken Susi here. Fishman Live, Takeover. It is Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock. Every single Wednesday, I go live at 3 p.m. across the Fishman socials. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I'm also on the Unearth Facebook. And last but not least, I'm across my own personal socials as well as my Lord of the Rigs YouTube page. Check that out for sure. Guys, if you want to know any information about Fishman, head over to www.fishman.com. You can check out our acoustic, our electric, our MIDI, all the good stuff that you would need to find from Fishman. All the information you would need for it is on the site. And again, the most important part of this stream is for me as a product manager at Fishman to reach out to the community, talk about our awesome pickups, the Fishman Fluence Moderns that are in this guitar, Classic Series, the signature sets, wiring, everything that has to do with Fluence. You can ask me the question. I really like to be here and be transparent as far as product development, things, wiring, the whole nine. So feel free to hit me up. Also, I am the guitar player of Unearth, so you can ask me anything you want about me, Ken Susi the artist, as well as my band. But again, I am going, if you, I always like you to comment. This is a two-way street here. Just write into me, just like Charles did right here. Hell yeah, this is the best part of my Wednesdays. Thank you so much, Charles. I put your comments and your questions up on the screen, just like Simon here. Boom. What's up? What's up, Simon? How you doing? Mike's here again. Thank you so much, Mike, for always showing up on Wednesday. And same thing with Drew here. He's got a question. Hey, Ken, glad to be back on the stream again today after having such a busy past couple weeks. I was listening to you guys this past week when I went to go film the Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014 as it came through Bryan College Station on its way to Houston and then on to New Orleans. I got to look that up. I don't actually know what the Pacific Big Boy number 4014 is, but I'm gonna look that up because I'm intrigued now. Love using your guys' music when I riff in. So that's cool. I really appreciate it, Drew. Thank you so much for listening to Unearth. I'm really intrigued now to see what this was, this little event. So that's cool. Murphy is writing, damn it, Ken, why are you so cool? Nice neon, by the way. Thank you so much. I am cool because I am. I don't know what to say. I try to be cool every day. Right now, I'm a little bit hot. And today's live stream almost didn't happen. I was having electrical problems in the studio. I got electrician to come in here and mess around. So, luckily, we're here today and we're partying. Get it, homie. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. Can pickup covers be painted, or does that affect the performance? That's actually a pretty cool question. Actually, if you check out Kiesel, they do professional paint jobs on the facing of our pickup. It doesn't really affect the performance, but what you may encounter if you don't do it right, it may chip over time. You know, you're talking with paint. You know, you're dealing with paint. So depending on how you strike the string, or if something happens, the paint may chip over time. But sometimes that's cool. So yes, they can be painted. Oh, it's a big locomotive. Okay, that's cool. I gotta check it out. I gotta see what Drew was talking about. Ken, you are a humble party animal. I am just a party animal, and yeah, I am humble. I would say I'm pretty blue collar. I'm a pretty blue collar musician. The Union Pacific Big Boy is the world's largest steam locomotive. That is so cool. I want to see that. I would love to take a picture of it. I actually do photography, for those of you that don't know. I have a Instagram account called Ken Susi Photography. You should check that out if you like photos. Bill is writing. Boom. Do you have to carve the inserts on an RG7 string to be able to fit the Fishmans? Good question. In a lot of cases, Ibanez uses, and this is like kind of like inside pickup information 101. Seymour Duncan, Fishman, EMG, we all kind of use the same size routing for our pickups. But Ibanez, most of the time, stocks DiMarzio pickups into their guitars, and they're very narrow. Like, they're narrow, but they're also short. So a lot of times, if you were going to use our pickups or Seymour or EMG or whatever it is, you would have to route out the guitar a little bit, because their cavity that they carve out. Sorry, when they make the hole for the pickup to go into, it's short. And sometimes even where the ears are, like I call it, say if my hand is the pickup and the ears are on the top and bottom, those may be too wide too. So you might need to route a little bit. That is definitely an issue with Ibanez guitars, where people want to exchange their pickups and they're stuck routing. So yes, make sure you find a good a luthier or good shop that knows how to do that kind of work. I don't recommend you try it yourself. What's the difference between EMGs and Fishman? I definitely talked about that last week. I'm telling you, I used to be an endorsing EMG artist for many, many years. They make great pickups. I am, because I work for Fishman, I'm giving you my honest to God experience and answer. Like, I'm not just feeding you the Fishman line. As an artist speaking to you, I found that Fishman was way more versatile. It was noiseless. It had multiple voicings. The phase alignment was right. Everything good about, a really, 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 really good EMG, which is like one in a million. Like, because they're all, every single time you wind a pickup, they vary. Fishman nailed that, but brought it to another place, right? I have multiple voicings. Even the active voicing is on voice one of the pickups that I'm currently using. Are just far beyond, I think, what EMG or Seymour or any of them are doing, and the technology behind this is just revolutionary. It is, it's consistent. It's just everything you ever wanted in a guitar pickup. And to be honest with you, I didn't run into Fishman and they were hiring and I needed a job or anything. I actually really loved the pickups so much that I wanted to help the company out and offered to not even be paid for it. I really wanted to help so badly, and I just ended up eventually working for Fishman, which is awesome. It's one of the greatest places I've ever worked. Is the greatest place I've ever worked. Besides being on tour with a band and doing reckless things and, and having fun all the time, but I would say Fishman's a close second. Do you guys offer gold wound pickup models? Now, when you say wound, all of our pickups have the 48 layer precision coil, so it's not technically. The coil itself is our proprietary technology. But when you say gold wound pickup models, I will say that we have, and I'll show you on the site. I have to actually fix my camera because you're just going to see my guitar for a second. Let me just fix this. Boom! You can see me now. See that? Willie Adler has some cool distressed ones. I was just checking out his pickups before the stream. But I'm going to head back over here, and I'm going to show you what we make. We have open cores. These are great pickups. The tops are not necessarily gold. I wouldn't, they come in like parchment colored. But let's head over to our classic humbuckers. Can I find them? Yes, 6-string classic pickups. So if you go to our website, www.fishman.com, head over to the Fluence section. You could pick, nickel, black nickel, brushed stainless, or gold. The Fishman Gold is awesome. I gotta say, it's like, I don't even know. It's just so vibrant, and it's so great. I really do like the cover of it, like the color, the texture, and the color is just like deep gold. Whereas sometimes you get like pickups that are kind of like faded gold, or they're like a little white, even though, or nickel, or whatever you want to say. They're nickely. But yes, we make Fluence Classic 6-string humbucker pickups in gold, and you're looking at the neck pickup right now. You can select here, go to sets, boom. You want two, you don't just want one. So yes, to answer that question, we do have it. What is your live signal chain on your vocals for Watch It Burn? Always been curious. My live signal chain is my mouth through 58 into the front house. That is it. I have no effects, no nothing. Just kind of sing into a microphone the old school way. If you think it sounds really great, I'm sure that my front house guy, whether it be Otto in the United States or Danielo, our European sound engineer, I would say that they probably use some type of compression with the whatever house board is there. And I don't think anything more than that. Maybe a little reverb or delay, whatever they have on hand. But for the most part, it's usually just me hollering into a mic. So Mike is writing, when you guys start releasing pickups in different colors, will it be for all pickups or just anything outside of the Signature Series? You know, I would like it so everyone can get anything in a different color. I think that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, we don't like to mess around too much with the artist signatures unless if they approve of it. So if you wanted Devin Townsend pickups, you know, in gold with black screws, that's a conversation for Devin. We have to ask them up front whether or not they want to offer pickups in those colors. But what we're really looking to do is give you guys options for modern series and also classic, more so classic open core, the bobbins, the tops of those pickups. You can do some really fun things with those. So I hope that answers your question. What's the difference between EMGs and Fishman? The technology. This is the same question that you asked earlier. It is the technology, 100%. EMG uses wire wound coils, you know, like regular copper wire that goes around a bobbin, and they make pickups that way. They're very, very inconsistent. They do use a PCB on the bottom of the pickups. So they're built that way. They have their own proprietary sounds, their voicing. I think Fishman is, we use a 48 layer precision coil, which is different than EMG. We have our own preamp. We have our own voicings. We have, you know, our own design. They're definitely designed different. Those are the significant differences. And again, you can the Fishman pickups. This I'll name a few of the things that EMGs don't do that Fishman does. Multiple voicings, right? Voice 1 in my particular guitar, and we'll just go with moderns. My voice 1 is an active sound. When I pull this up, it's voice 2. Now, when I say that, that means that if I have an active sound in this pickup and I pull this up, it is like a guitar tech going into your guitar and exchanging pickups for a whole new set of pickups when I hit this button. That's the equivalent to that. So this is a passive pickup now because it's in voice 2. When I press this down, it's in voice 1. When this guitar is in voice 1, this is something that EMG also doesn't offer. When I pull this up, it goes into negative 6 dB gain reduction. So EMG they have their 81 and their 85. They sell the EMG 8185Xs or their X series pickups. Fishman actually just put that whole platform on a knob. So you can pull that up and then you get like the negative 6 dB gain reduction of our pickups, our sound. So there's also an HF tilt. People don't know what, a lot of people don't know what that is, but our pickups are buffered. So what happens is when you use 30 foot of guitar cable, whether like with Fishman pickups, whether you use 30 feet or 5 feet, it's all the same sound. But in most cases with wire wound pickups, when you plug in a 30 foot cable, your tone gets darker. It creates a little bit more of a high pass in there. So you can control that on the Fishman. So those are the differences between EMGs and Fishman and a lot of other pickups in Fishman. Fishman is a huge benefit to your sound. Ken, will Fishman look to offer dark teal or something sort of marine blue color option for the moderns in the future? Take Steph Carpenter's set, for instance. That turquoise streak looks clean AF. Yes. That color particularly is not a huge seller. And, there's going to be a lot of colors that we will eventually sell. But I think that one's kind of, we could if demand was high, but there's not many people looking for a cover. And we have to order. When Fishman puts in an order for, a cover, we have to order 500 or 1,000. We have to anticipate there's going to be a lot of people that want that color. So if Steph says, I want 10 pieces, we can always get samples for him. But mainly, yeah, I would say that we probably won't stock that, but I know we'll have reds and camo and all the fun stuff that you would want for moderns for sure. Ken, if you can play one kind of bridge for the rest of your life, that would be your choice. Would it be Evertune or FR, Floyd Rose? I would say for the rest of my life, and that's a good question because that means that if I choose Evertune, I can't use a whammy bar, right? So that would exclude Evertune. But I would say I would be upset because if I had to not use an Evertune, tracking would become more difficult and a longer process. When I track an Unearth record with my Evertune guitars, with my signature series, it's like it takes half the amount of time I would with a Floyd Rose just to make sure chords are in tune and stuff. But I would have to go with a Floyd Rose because you can block it and use it like a normal bridge, or you could not block it and have a whammy bar. Just tuning would be such a bad issue. But luckily, it's 2021, and Evertune exists, so I get to use both. But if I had to choose, and a gun was to my head, and it was for the rest of my life, it would have to be a Floyd Rose just because of the versatility. Sorry, Evertune. I think you would understand. Ken, what's your preferred nut material? I need to replace one, and I'm getting as much info as I can. Thanks. You know what? I put it on my. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna head over to. Oh, guys, excuse me. I'm gonna head over to ESP Guitars right now. Let's go over there. Heading over to ESP. Do you see me? Okay, wait. Oops. Heading over to ESP. Look at that. ESP, Takamine. We're going to open this door. Look at these cool new guitars. Love it. Let's go to guitars. Alexi Lejo's on the cover. Pretty awesome. Head over to Signature Series. Signature Series. Click, please. Let's find Ken Susi. Ooh. Look how many people are using Fluence on here. It's awesome. Ken Susi, look at that handsome guy. I'm not going to brag. I know who he is. The nut material on my guitar, if you're using a 6-string, 48 millimeter. I use a molded nut. Mold. They made my nut out of mold, guys. I don't know what to say to you. I'd like to play a song real quick. Guys, I am going to keep the questions coming. I am going to answer all your questions as we roll. I'm going to play something off of the Oncoming Storm. I haven't played it in a few live streams, but I think I would like to rock out the Great Dividers. So this is the Great Dividers by Unearth.
Kill
Guys, that was The Great Dividers by Unearth. Oncoming Storm. My name's Ken Susi. Again, this is my Fishman live takeover. I am here to answer all your questions, hang out with you for a 1 solid hour every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight and or Savings Time. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm like losing my mind. Okay, I'm gonna come back to some of your questions. Will you guys be offering different finishes to your bass pickups? All the ones I've seen are standard black. We have white. Nick, let me show you real quick. You go over to the Fishman site right now. You can also get a Fishman bass pickup. That's my like salesman voice. In white. Look at that. Boom. Just in case if you were wondering, they're available now. Any news on Fishman Legend series? You mean Legacy series? We have put out one set so far. It was a bass pickup for Mike Inez from Alice in Chains. We have other people that we are currently courting for that particular project. But yes, we have the Legacy series. Absolutely awesome. Does Fishman make an HSS set? Yes, we do. Head back to the site. I love jumping over to the site. It's my favorite thing to do. Head over to the www.fishman.com. Scroll down. We don't sell the set together. You actually assemble your own set. So in this case, whether or not you want to get the Fishman single width pickups for 6-string, and as it says here in the description, it's for HSS, HSH, and HS. So if you get any modern pickup, any classic pickup, anything open core, whatever it is, whatever your bridge pickup is, or whatever your bridge and neck pickup is, you can complement that with an HSS or HSH or just the Fishman single width pickups. So what you're looking for is there's a BP one and a BA one. The BA one is what you would use in an HSH configuration or HS configuration. This pickup would replace either the middle single width or the neck pickup in an HS or an HSH. When you are doing HSS specifically, you're going to need a pickup, a bridge pickup of your choosing. You're going to need the BA1 and then the BP1. And the BP1 goes into the neck position on an HSS. Don't be fooled. I'm glad you asked that question, Dylan. I am pretty excited about that because a lot of people don't know that, and I want to make sure that everyone does know that. And the Fishman single width series stuff, the SSA and the SSP sound awesome. Any new artists? Can't disclose yet. We got some really big surprises coming this year. You doing clean vocals on the new album? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. Trevor mentioned that there was a part where I could possibly do some clean vocals, so I'm going to explore the space. Also, would you guys ever do an open core style modern? I would love to do an open core style modern. That is not out of the realm of possibility. Could you explain this 48-layer coil? Is it wound differently that makes it more consistent? We're talking about layers of copper wire. No. Yeah, well, a normal set of pickups has like you wind it a specific way for whatever it is that you're trying to voice, right? So overwound, underwound, more turns, less turns, whatever it is. And some people use different type of wire. It's not always copper. Maybe they might use unicorn hair. I have no idea. But the Fishman 48-layer precision coil is I wish I had one on hand, but you know what? It might be on the main site of the Fishman site. Let me show you a picture of it real quick. Let's see if we can find the coil. Let me see if I can find the coil real quick, because this would like add a lot to the conversation. Hold on. I'm not seeing it here. But anyway, not to waste time. There's no need. I'll just explain it to you. But yeah, no, it's a precision coil. So what that is, it's like a PCB or circuit board. It's like sorry, not a PCB, but it's a thinly sliced 48 layer coil that it's absolutely, they're symmetrical. Like there's no actual copper wire to it. It's basically what it does is that it winds itself. So it's layer upon layer upon layer, and then certain layers get turned on and off, and like the coil winds itself. It basically makes whatever winding that you want in the pickup. It's you can do an underwound pickup, you can do an overwound pickup, you can do a bunch of different styles of windings within one, because we're not physically winding the pickup. This thing creates that type of winding. So it's a smart coil. That's the best way I can kind of say it with, in the layman's terms. So think of it as a blank slate of a coil, and we can do anything we want with it. And when we do that, it's also like sound doesn't have to go around the copper wire of a coil like a EMG or Seymour Duncan or anything like that. Like ours is super fast. It's very transparent. It's not colored. It's just we make analog pickups, same magnets and everything that you would ever make a pickup with, but we replace the coil with this technology. So no copper wire. What's up, bro? How are you, bro? Whoa, you said bro twice in a sentence. I love that. I'm doing great. Thank you. You're not out of touch. It's totally fine. Actually, I would love, Joel, I think you should check out this video. There's a video on YouTube. Let me see if I can head over to YouTube real quick. Let's head over to YouTube. I don't know if this site lives, this video lives. Oh, look at all this cool stuff. Let's see. We're doing copper. Here, hold on a second. Let me find this. We're doing Fluence Defined, I believe it's called. Pickup. There's an awesome video of Larry Fishman. Here it is. Head over here. This is the Fluence Defined video.
Optical techniques and modern circuit board manufacturing process.
It tells you all about the coil.
Layer board with lots of coils on it. This is going to give us the basis for building really, really great pickups. And we're going to be able to do it every time, and we're going to be able to control what they sound like, and we're going to be able to give something to the customers that they just haven't had before. We're going to give them pickups that sound great, that play great, that have great dynamic range. They're not going to be suffering from loading effects of amplifiers, the outside world. They're not going to hum. They're going to have multiple sounds. I mean, here's an opportunity. This is what we need to make electric guitar pickups out of it. We decided early on that Fluence were going to be fully powered pickups with the Fluence Power Packs. They're going to be retrofittable on your guitar without changing the guitar at all. It's either going to be the control.
All I got to say is that no one talks about Fishman Fluence pickups better than Larry Fishman himself. I would highly advise, I know I just gave you a little snippet of that video, but I would, if you don't know anything about the Fluence technology, you should really head over to that video specifically, and definitely watch it, understand the technology and how it works. What do you think is the biggest development in amp design? You go to amp for a record. I always use live real amplifiers. I don't use modules or plugins or anything like that. I don't know. I just think amps have always, like, certain amps, the way I view amps are that, like, people have made them better and worse throughout time. Marshalls are always good. 5150 was good by PV, EVH, the Fender EVH, Framus Cobras, Randall, the Dimebag amps, Synergy, Rev, Rhodes. There's so many great amp makers. Driftwood, I think PRS makes a good one. So I can only say that, like, there's people that mess up designs and there's people that do them great. So I don't know. What are the settings on your OD808? My max on pedal, it is a reverse upside down V, like this. Like the left knob is all the way off, like turned down all the way. The right knob's turned all the way up. and the tone knob that lives in the center is in the center. It's just 12 o'clock. Those are my settings. Killer Sound, Take Over the World. This is when I was playing. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit behind. Are there any plans for passive sounding products? One of my go-to pickups is Seymour Duncan SH5 and decent tight low end and super throaty mid-range. Listen, Eric, all of our pickups I have a passive sound in it. Even though the pickups that I'm playing currently right now, and I have them on the active tone, as I said earlier, if I pull the switch up, it becomes a passive pickup. Our classic pickups are, in my opinion, some of the greatest pickups ever made for passive sounding players. And if you think about the artists that we have in our roster, Keith Merrow, who came from Seymour Duncan, Javier Reyes, Tosin Abasi, all those guys use passive pickups for years, and they love Fluence. Greg Koch, Killswitch Gage, Will Adler was a passive guy. I think you should be trying some of our signature models, like Javier, Will Adler. You should really be trying our classics, especially if you want that like decent tight low end. I'm just not sure if you're like a medium output guy or overly, like a high output kind of guy. But I'm saying right now, our classic pickups have passive sound. All of our pickups have a passive sound. Check them out. With Fishman, you kind of have to remove the thought of like, oh, there's a PCB on the bottom of it, or if it's powered, it's not passive. Ryan Bruce says it's the best. It's like the Fluence core and the technology behind Fluence. You just need a battery to power the tech. But other than that, the performance is stellar, right? So that's kind of his thing. So that kind of hopefully answers your question. Hey, Ken, talking about the Evertune. Suppose that I have my Evertune set up to E standard, but I get bored and I want to detune the guitar to D standard. Can I just detune the guitar? Yeah, you probably could. I just find that once you start getting into lower tunings, you have to really... Like if I play a guitar that was in E standard and then I find myself going to... I want to drop to C or C sharp, I'll use like a set of like bottom heavy top lights. It's either that you're setting up that guitar to play that way with moving the bridge around in the truss rod, or you're changing gauges of strings, but either way you're gonna have to tweak your guitar a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, there's been times where I've downtuned my Evertune guitar and it's held pretty well. Depends on how far you want to go. Do you have any developments in the bass pickups that you could tell us about? We have two really good sets right now. We have Sopar, our Fluence Sopar bass pickups, and we have the Mike Inez Legacy Series pickups. I honestly think if you really research what they actually do, they're incredible and they're so versatile. They do so much. So we may be exploring different formats in the future, but right now we have amazing pickups for bass. What would your favorite artist series of Fluence pickups, Abasi, Grey Cock? Well, that's really tough for me to answer because I was in the product development for all of those products, and what I can say about those products are that they're all good in their own right. I don't want to just say, every Fishman pickup's great, but the coolest part about the Signature Series is that if you want to sound like that player, or you want the sounds of that player, you're getting the root of that. Like Tosin Abasi, if you're into thumping and if you're into high frequency, like that spiky the spiky high-end single coil sounds and stuff, like you're getting that pickup. If you want the Will Adler like aggressive metal thing, like the overwound heavy metal guitar guy passive pickup, like you got that. If you want the modern sound that's kind of like articulate, you're getting the Killswitch. Steph Carpenter has that like striper kind of vibe where it's like there's like this mid-range note picking and stuff, and then a little bit like more output on the second voicing. Like you're getting that. The Greg Koch series is unbelievable, especially for Telecaster. If you look at Tosin Abasi's line of Telecaster pickups, Telecaster Abasi concept guitars, you'll see that Greg Koch sets are in there, or an OEM version of that. So like everyone loves all the guys that play Fluence are trying other Fluence artists pickups out. So it just depends on where you want to go. But I strongly urge you to buy a set of, like, grab a telly that you might already have and throw Grey Cock System in it and try it out against that. Expensive guitar, cheap guitar, whatever it is, it's pretty amazing. Actually, I think I need a picture because it's intriguing. Joel, go to the video because you can just pause it. You can see exactly how the coil looks and how it responds. It tells the whole story. That video told the whole story. Who came up with your album covers? Is there a story behind them? There's a guy named Portland who did a few of our album covers, and there's been a bunch of guys. So usually when we make a record, my guys are not that creative artistically, so we'll write a record and then we usually hire somebody to do a cover, and then they come back to us with, oh, excuse me, I'm tired. Different options, different things. Yeah, that's kind of how we do the album covers. Nothing to write home about. That's usually the last process. And, every step of the way we argue about everything, so it doesn't matter. Hey, Ken, what pickup wouldn't be too far from an EMG 85? Thinking of giving Fishman's a try. I wouldn't want it to be too different from what I'm using now. Good question. Well, EMG 85 is a Alnico pickup. Usually lives in the neck. It's usually used as a neck pickup in an 8185 set. I know you buy them separately, but I would say the Fluence Alnico. I'll go to the website just to show you. Head over to Modern Series Humbuckers. Where are we? These are the signatures. We're going downtown. Let's see. Modern Series 6-string pickups. You want Alnico pickups. So any of these. Anything with an AB1, AN1, AG1, AR1, AK1, AW1, any of these will do the trick. I think that's where you want to live. That's your party zone right there. If you want Fluence, if you want an Alnico sound, active sound, that's the pick, bud. You going to make either SBC or the Only Living Witness shows in October? I think I am. Thanks, James. I don't know if I'll see you there. The COVID thing's kind of still sketching me out, but it's no better band than Sam Black Church, and Craig's band, Only Living Witness. It should be pretty awesome. I might end up at one of those shows. I'm not gonna brag. All right. Best versatile Fluence choice for a single humbucker guitar with only one volume knob. I would say depends on what you're playing. Classic or modern. Ceramic, modern, or bridge, classic. I think is the most. I mean, that would be awesome. I would say that you wouldn't be upset with that. And all those other features that I talked about, as far as high frequency tilt or -6 dB gain reduction or split coil, whatever, you can configure your guitar any which way. You could terminate your HF tilt to ground and have it always be on, or you could just you can wire your guitar any way. So that's pretty cool. You could down position could be voice 1, up position could be voice 3 or 2, or high frequency tilt. You could choose your own adventure. You know what I'm saying? What's the yellow pedal sitting on my Rev? Actually, I was obsessing over Steve Vai Crossroads the other day, and I was like, you know what? I have a Maxon flanger. This one is the FL9. I saw when I filled in with Slipknot, I saw Mick Thompson had one of these, or Jim Root. I can't remember either one of these guys. But I was just like, I should pull this out and see what happens when I solo with it. And it's awesome. I actually really like it. So that's the pedal. And if you're going to use something like this, you plug in your amp the way you normally plug it in. This thing's not currently plugged in, as you can see. But you would put it through the effects loop. And it does a thing. Or if you want to play it like Eddie Van Halen, where it's in the front of your loop, where it's overly extreme sounding, that's also tight as well. I wanted to ask how the Mike Inez pickups work on a 5-string. Mike used it on 4-string. I believe it was developed for 4-string. No, they were developed for 4 and 5-string. And he has. Let's head over to the site. Let's go through it. I think you can get all the information, and I don't want to be that guy and make you keep going over, but go to the Fishman site and listen to what he's doing. Listen to his full video. Mike Inez talking about his pickups. Like, he gives a great description.
Chains bass, when I joined Alice in Chains in 93, this was just my workhorse, so it's been my main bass. I was always just looking to...
He tells the whole Fluence story of how he arrived to Fishman and what the story is. Now, Mike had a bass, which you just saw on the screen, where he was like, you know, it was the only bass he ever thought sounded good. It's the only bass he ever used. It's been on every single tour of his since Ozzy bought him the pickups and the guitar. But what happened was the pickups fried out in that bass, and then somebody, you know, found some counterfeit pickups, or there's like this whole magical story behind this bass, and this pickup was magical. But we basically, like, for 30 years or so, Mike couldn't find another pickup to put into another bass that sounded equally as good. And now Mike has actually since retired that bass and now strictly uses these pickups because we were able to bottle up that sound and put into every single pickup, and he's over the moon about it. Now, the reason why it's called Legacy Series is because it's not just a pickup. It's not just the sound of a pickup. It's like the pickup from the guy's bass. So if you want that Alice in Chains sound, you're literally getting that. John Campbell from Lamb of God loves these pickups. Absolutely, like, over the moon about it. So if you go see Lamb of God and you bump into John Campbell, ask him what pickups he's using. He'll tell you it's the Mike Inez Fishmans, or he'll just say he's using Fishman, but you should ask him which ones, and he'll say these ones. He bounces back and forth between the soap bar and this one. But as you can see right here, Voice 1, an exact sonic copy of Mike's Moon bass, like one of a kind, from Alice to Ozzy. This is the tone. There's no description better than that. And Voice 2 is like a warm, is for like Mike's warm and vintage tone. So you guys, everyone who listens to Alice in Chains knows they do a lot of like acoustic or lighter stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm 30 minutes away from Andover, Mass. Is Fishman as a store? Does Fishman have a store over there? No, we don't. I'm sorry. We're mainly operations and manufacturing. We ship out of there, but we don't actually have a physical store. But stores carry our products. I've noticed that Fishman has less low mids than EMGs have more, and more people don't understand that Fishman would fit better in the mix. They usually prefer the low mids that are usually cut. I actually would disagree with that. I mean, if you actually use the bass and treble, the knobs on the bass, there's three sounds. If you're using like the soap bar Fluence bass pickups, you get three sounds that are independent. So you got split coil of the following, like a vintage tone and an active tone. There's a lot of mid-range growl going on in that voice. There's a third voice that is like a scoop sound. So if you happen to be using those pickups and you're using that particular sound, it's like a mid contour. You might be hearing a lot of mids sucked out, but you may have it on the wrong setting. There's like three distinct voicings plus splits on that bass. So I would highly advise you to go through the bass again and look into it. Let's hear some sick riffs. I agree. Why don't we hear some sick riffs right now? What do I want to play? I want to play Survivalist. I have to rehearse this for tour, so let's do that. And guys, we have about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna come back and we'll party.
Survivalist!
Guys, it is 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, I have to leave. You guys have been great. My name is Ken Susi. This is the Fishman Takeover. I go live every single week from 3 to 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Head over to www.fishman.com and you can check out all of our cool products and all of our cool things. Like everything that you would need to know about Fishman is right here on the website at www.fishman.com. Again, I love the interaction. I love the fact that you guys are here. Thank you so much. Here you guys are just thanking me, and I thank you back. You're all so nice, and it's great that you guys spend time with me every single week. I'm going to be back playing more tunes, talking about more gear, talking about a lot of cool stuff. But thank you guys, and do us a favor, actually. Head over to the YouTube, head over to the Instagram. Just like and subscribe. We're approaching high numbers on all of our likes, so please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on anything.